Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Anonymous and today I'm gonna start a new survival adventure together with you guys. I have big plans for it, so make sure you stay tuned and let's just jump straight into it. At first I found myself in a jungle biome, which is definitely not my favorite biome to spawn in, but regardless of that, I then gathered some wood and some stone, crafted some basic tools and moved on. Then I found some cocoa beans and later on some bamboo as well. After that, I spotted 3 pandas and bred them using some of the bamboo that I found earlier on. Now it's time to find a place for my starter house. So I swam to a nearby island that looked like a plains biome. However, to my disappointment, it turned out to be just a small island, and that's not exactly suitable for my plants. So I needed something a lot bigger. So I slept through the first night and set out on a journey. I found some coal and iron along the way. I traversed the lands and the forest and found myself a village. Luckily, it turned out to be near a great place to settle for a starter base. I decided to go for a base inside this large mountain, so I started digging and designing the interior. I used oak wood because it's the only wood type I have so far. This is what it turned out to be. It's far from perfect, but all I need right now. Then I started mining down just out front of my house. During this task, I activated my shaders and found out my PC isn't actually blowing up in doing so. The shaders allow me to see the light levels when holding a torch. In addition, I made the staircase 2 blocks wide so that for one, it's not as cramped as usual, and second, I get more cobblestone and deep slate. I managed to find my first diamonds and turned them into a pickaxe straight away. I went all the way down to bedrock or level -59. Along the way, I installed the stairs to make for an easier way to get in and out of the mine. Next up was the villager breeder, so I went through the painful task of getting 2 villagers to my base. Luckily, I was smart enough to settle close to a village, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, it was still pretty horrible. However, that didn't stop me. I put them into a safe area and left them there. Then it was finally time for me to take a short break from all the villager related stuff. So I went down into the mine and did some strip mining and caving to get some more diamonds, and slowly my diamond gear was coming along. However, let's get back to the villager breeder. All that was left was a single carrot. I first went through the nearby village only to realize there wasn't a single farm around. I set out on a journey to find another village and managed to find 2 villages next to each other only a couple hundred blocks away. On the way back, I grabbed some spruce wood and seeds since it's my favorite type of wood to build with. And because I had already crafted an enchanting table, I needed leather to get some bookshelves. So yeah. Okay, that's enough slaughtering for now. Let's see the montage of me building the villager breeder. Now the villager breeder is finished apart from some carrots because I ran out of bone meal. That however is no problem since the villagers will do that for me. And eventually they will also start breeding. Let's craft up some bookshelves and then go back to mining. After a short but lucky mining session, I finally have all the diamonds for a complete set of diamond armor. Then I started crafting up the materials for an iron farm. I realized, however, I was missing a name tag and quite some iron for an anvil. Before looking for these resources, I started building the iron farm regardless, and I will just let future me find these resources. Then I made one of the worst decisions in my life. I tried to get a name tag through fishing, which turned out to be a 2-hour-long wasted session. It was only the next day when I traded with a Fletcher and a librarian to get a name tag. This only took around 10 minutes since I already farmed a lot of wood for the sticks. Luckily, the librarian had a mending trade, so I bought a couple of these books. Sadly, I lost 2 hours of footage of me trading, farming wood, finishing the iron farm, and getting some great enchantments on my armor and my tools. I also expanded and organized the storage system. Now it's time for some honey. I started by getting some bees that were located near the village. Then I crafted up the materials needed to build a manual bee breeder and the honey farm. Because this is a rather cheap build apart from the beehives, this didn't take very long. I built a breeder and collected honeycomb every now and then to craft beehives for the honey farm. I didn't exactly use a very efficient method, however it turned out just fine. I started with the honey farm and after a few miscalculations I made it work. If you haven't already guessed it, I am collecting resources for a tree farm. It's quite a simple design, so let's get to farming materials. First up, killing skeletons for white dye. Then crafting glass with all the resources I have, collecting more sand, crafting again, mining for redstone, chopping down trees. Now I have almost all the resources needed for the tree farm. All I'm missing as of right now is a dead coral fan for the TNT duper and a lot of slime balls. And I'm talking about around 7 stacks of slime balls. So yeah, wish me luck farming these guys in the nearby swamp. Before I went on with the slimes, I remembered that next to the spawn area there was a lukewarm ocean, which means that there is a coral reef. While traveling there I found some glow squids and a geode, so I mined a couple of amethyst blocks and shards. Once I reached the coral reef, I collected some of the coral fans and went back. During the night I made my way over to the swamp north to my base. It wasn't a full moon, so slime spawn rates were slightly decreased. The swamp is also not a large one, therefore I didn't expect too many slimes. However, even less than expected spawned. Only 2 slimes were to be found. Disappointed, I went home and grabbed some villagers to get a looting 3 book. After a while of trade resetting, I got a looting 2 trade and bought 2 books. I combined them and applied the enchantment onto my sword. Back in the swamp equipped with a looting 3 sword, I was hopeful to get more slime balls. In addition, it was a full moon night. However, for some reason only a single slime spawned. I was disheartened to continue farming them this way. In total, I got half a stack of slime balls. I decided to change strategy and make a simple slime farm. Thanks to the 1.18 update, I don't have to find a slime chunk and mine it all out while also lighting up all the caves in the vicinity. By using brown mushrooms, only slimes can spawn in the farm. I mined a little room beneath the iron farm to acquire the mushrooms needed for this. During the process, I didn't pay enough attention to my axe's durability and therefore it broke. I had to make a new one and continued farming mushrooms. Once I had enough, I gathered resources for the farm. Then I started crafting the materials needed and headed over to the swamp. Because the swamp was above sea level, I had to mine out quite the area. To be honest, I mined out a bit too much height-wise, which cost quite some time to do. Then it was finally time to start building. I didn't have nearly enough concrete for this build, and when I tried to get gravel, my shovel was on very low durability. I didn't even have any diamonds left to repair it or make a new one. A short strip mining session later, my shovel was ready for collecting gravel and sand. With all the white dye I had left, I crafted as much concrete as possible. Then everyone's favorite task, converting powder into solid blocks. I also grabbed more slabs to finish the roof. Once I was done, I AFK'd at the farm for some time. Sadly, I forgot to look at the time when I started, so I have no measure of how much it produced per hour. If I had to guess, I'd say it was around 20 to 30 minutes. Let's have a look at the results. With nothing standing in my way anymore, the tree farm was just around the corner. Because I didn't have any bone meal left, I couldn't test the farm. But enough talking, let's get to building. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse of me building the tree farm. It took quite some time, but it's more than worth it. Anyways, for the last part of this video, I want to talk to you about my channel while you see me clean up and decorate the place in the background. This first episode was definitely a lot of fun to record and edit. My plans for this channel are all around gaming, however, for now it's just gonna be Minecraft related content. I plan on making this survival series quite a long one, and maybe in the future I'll delete unused chunks and update into the 1.20, but that's not so important as of right now. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, or if you would turn that red button to gray. Stay tuned for the next time because it's gonna be awesome.